Hi everyone, my name is Vincent Go and welcome to this new Substance Designer 5 tutorial. Today we are going to make something which is quite close to the rotation tutorials that I made. I was still playing about the pixel processor and the possibilities inside Substance Designer, and I found a question on the official forum, which was: is it possible to rotate a specific part of a texture within Substance Designer? So after a bit of trials and error, I found a way to do that. So for example, everything is in this graph instance, and basically what we are going to build today is this node, which allows you to plug a texture, whatever it is, for example this one, and a mask like this. And then what it allows you to do is, when you select this, you see in the parameter that you can select the color, you can select the color of a zone of this mask, and then you have a parameter that allows you to rotate this specific zone, as you can see here. I defined 3 zones for this in my case, but you can define more. Actually, it's really up to you. If I do this one, for example, let me check. Yes, here we go. So you get the idea. This one, for some reason, is broken, but we'll see that later. Anyway, you get the idea. So that's what we're going to do today. I've been asked how can it be useful in your everyday work. Well, imagine you have a texture, you have some UVs of a, let's say, a trunk, for example, and you have your trunk texture, but sadly the UVs are not aligned in the same way. So in that case, you have either the possibility to change your UVs, or if not, to use this kind of tool. So let's go, for example, let's start it now. So what I created first is a rotate tutorial graph. So it's a simple graph, and I took this substance that you can find in the library. I just typed it wood here and I found it. So, and I also downloaded a specific mesh that I found on SketchFab. So let me show you this one. Yes, so yes, we see it. So this is a free model that I found on SketchFab, made by Emre Karabacak. I hope I said it well. So in case, I invite you to go to his site and to like it, like I'm going to do now. If I find the button, I will do it later, I promise. I can do it now for some reason. Okay, so this is the model that I took, and so let's use it. I just changed the UVs a bit. Okay, like that. I changed the UVs to get something which were not aligned properly, because I want to show. So but it was better for the example. So here, imagine that, for example, you don't want this wood to be in the same sense than this. The tool that we are going to build will allow that. So let's start that. So first of all, what I'm going to do is to create I'm going to create a new graph again, because what I'm going to do is like this. Here is my example, but the graph is here. It's this one. That's what we're going to build today. So what I'm going to do is to go there, first here, create new graph, and I'm going to call rotate mask, let's say function. You give the name you want, actually. And now what we want to do, so here we have nothing, of course. So first we're going to put an output. We're going to set it to base color, for example, and I'm going to bring back the wood again. This, you see, you can specify the channel. I'm going to remove them all except the base color, and I'm going to plug it now. Let's view that in the 3D output, and now we have our wood. We will change the parent size right now, but later we will go bring it back to 0 because it will have an influence. Okay, so right now we have our wood. So this will be the texture. Now what I want is to make different zones for my object. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the UVs to do that. So in order to do that, I'm going to bake them. So I'm going to take this. I don't know where it's here right now. Okay. Bake model information, and I'm going to make a convert to UV to SVG map, adding 0, color mode U shift, I think it's good, matte ID color, no, U shift is fine, and what we want to do is to embed it. If you link it only, you won't be able to tweak it if you need. So I link it, and here we go, that's what we have. So as you see, we have like different zones. Here you have all the wood planks which are one on top of the other. There was a lot of space here, so I used it a bit, I moved some of them, but really what we're going to do is either to move these ones or the other. What I'm going to do actually is to make a zone. I'm going to use this color definitely because it's neutral, so it will be way easier. Okay, so now we have this. What I'm going to do with that is just I'm going to add a transform node like this, and I'm just going to make a rotate 90 degrees like that. Okay, perfect, because what we will do after is re-rotate again this part. So let's do that. So now that I have done that, what I want to do is use a convert to mask. So, sorry. I think it's color to mask, sorry. Yeah, exactly. So this is something that we are going to expose, actually this color, because in some case, in every case actually you want to change the color, but right now, let's make it work first, and then after we are going to think about changing or making it exposable. So right now, as you see, I have a mask that corresponds exactly to the color I want. So this is perfect. By the way, before to continue, I will put it in the comment as well. In order to do this tutorial, you have to have done the rotate normal map tutorial, because I will reuse the same node. It's like the third tutorial where I used this node. I've built it for an example, and actually it's really useful. So let's continue. So I have this color to mask, and what I want to do with this color to mask is use it as a mask with a grayscale color, you will understand. So first I'm going to use a blend node. I don't want to use it here, I want to use it as a mask, and I want also to create a color, so a uniform color that I can put in grayscale like that, and I want to plug it here. So I'm going to put a white so you see what it gives here. So basically right now, if I change the color here, you see that it changed the value here. That's exactly what we want. And so I'm going to collapse this, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate all this like that, because we are going to make 3 masks, and once again like that. We can duplicate more than 6, but more than 3, but it will be enough for our example. If you need more zones, you duplicate more of this. And what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to display that. Here I have my color mask for this one, and let's say I'm going to pick another color. I'm going to pick this one, for example. And what I'm going to do as well is here, maybe you see there is 3 colors, one on top of the other, so maybe I'm going to go there and see what's going on exactly. So if I select that, yeah, there is a lot, so I'm going to remove some color, so some parts, sorry. So this, okay, and now I'm going to select this color. So this is done, this is the blue, and this was the blue, so this one has to be changed, and I'm going to put this one. Okay, so right now in theory we have one mask here, one mask here, and one mask here. So what I want to do now is this mask, actually, this grayscale mask are what is going to be to store the value to apply the rotation to at the end. So what I want to do is to expose this, and this, but just right now what I'm going to do is just to put different values. So I'm going to put like one like this, for example. This one here I'm going to put like darker. I select it, yeah, darker, and this one in the middle. Okay. Now I want to blend them together to make one mask. So blend node, I need 2, 1, 2, like that. And so far they don't collapse. What I can do is to put add here. I do another one, add. Okay, so you see that you have these 3 colors together. So as you can see, I've been asked before to do that. These colors are just used to to define the zones. They don't store yet they don't store yet the rotation information. Actually, what is going to store the rotation information is this, and this. So now what I want to do is to reuse one of the rotation node processor that I did, which is this one. So first I'm going to, oops, sorry, Control Z. I'm going to copy it if I can, Control C in theory, like that, and I'm going back. Now this one, yeah, okay, I copy it here. So this is actually the rotation normal node that I've made. I'm going to load, if I have it, I'm going to load the previous one just to show you. This is what we did in a previous tutorial, more or less. Let me check this one. I think no. Where is it? This. Okay, I think it's this one. G turns normal. Let's say this one. So basically what I did here is a tutorial that allows you to rotate the normal map, and most of the tutorial was about building all this graph, which is made in 2 parts. A first part here, which actually affect the color, and another part here at the here that affect the physical rotation of the map. So what we're going to keep is just the physical rotation. So I did it already, so let's go back to my tutorial here. Okay, so if I go inside, you see that I remove a big part of it. So just to explain you what it does right now is here a get float. Actually the get float is just to check all the pixels of the image. did I? Okay, I'm going to do it with you. It will be easier, and I will explain by the time. So first, what you are going to do is to plug the image you want to rotate, and second, the mask you want to rotate, which is this one. Now let's go inside. We have to change a bit how it works inside. So as I say, right now what it does is you have this node, which is the get float, and I choose the expose variable, which basically says, okay, look at each position of the pixels, and for each position of the pixel, do something, repeat the operation. So on one side, actually it's already done because I tweaked it already one time. So here you have the sample gray. The sample gray actually has to be on the input image 1, and input. So what it will do is just for each pixel taking the value of this map, and then it will do, this part is just doing the rotation of it. So let me check something. So yes, as I said, I won't explain. Just this is just doing a rotation, and after I'm sampling the rotation here, which means that for each point it looks at the gray value and it rotates the map according to this. So if I go here, enter it, it's already done. As you see, for example, okay, as you see, some parts has moved, some hasn't. For example, this hasn't moved because it was at the top. But what I'm going to do, so I hope it has been clear. Honestly, once you will have seen the previous video about the rotate normal map, it will be clearer. Once again, I will explain it. So basically, we plug the image to rotate, we plug the mask where it rotates, and actually we see here, for example, if we compare, that the rotation occurs really where the image is where there is the zone. So there is 3 zones, and I'm going to be a bit clearer for this. So once again I said we sample each value, we grab each value and we sample first the grayscale image where we take the value, the grayscale value, and from this grayscale value we define what is the rotation, how strong is the rotation between 0 and 1, which is in degrees 0 to 360. And then finally, once we have done that, we apply this rotation for each pixel depending on this color. Now we have this working, which is fine. What we're going to do is to expose some value. First, there is here we want to for each mask by color we want to expose the color, so the user can use and choose the color he needs. So here, for example, what you do, you say the expose, and you choose you create a new one, and we're going to call it color 01, like that, and we expose. Same thing for the second node, expose, new, and color 2. Okay. Finally, same thing here, expose, color 3. So these 3 expose the value, allow us to choose what color corresponds to the mask. By default, we are going to change the default value this after. And now what we want to define also is to control how strong is the rotation, to define the angle. So this is by choosing the grayscale value here. So once again, we expose. Let's start by the top. let's expose this, expose, and I'm going to call it rotation 01. Okay. Here the new one, rotation 02. Okay, and you guessed it, rotation there 03. Okay. Okay, so if we look here, we see that we have all the parameters. So basically you see that you have the color that you can define. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to break this graph, because I'm going to put default value, and I'm going to put RGB, which could be easier in some case. So pure red. So you see right now that this zone is not affected anymore, which is normal. Pure green, which you guessed it, will change also the color here, so it doesn't affect anymore here. And finally pure blue here. You see it has changed a bit, because there may be a value here which were pure blue or pure green, but whatever. And also, now that we have that, what we're going to do is to put these values to 0. And you know what, in order to, as it's an angle, we are going to make sure that in the interface it's an angle as well. And default value 0, and rotation to, once again, it's funny, look at that, it has printed a boolean here. We want a float one, and we want, you know what, I think it's because I didn't expose the good one here. I'm going to check, but so let's put an angle float, finally float one angle, and we say 0, and the other one is 0, and I'm pretty sure there is a mistake here. Yes, you see I exposed the color mode, so I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to put rotation 2 here. Okay, so right now in theory if we change that, it will change the full value. So let's go here, for example. If we look in the interface, it looks like that. And if I change, you see it's color for some reason. Let's see, no, this should be grayscale. Ah, okay, no, my fault. A bit stupid. So, okay. So if I do that, let's do it again. It's because this is what we want to do. Yeah, actually it's because the rotation is supposed to change the color, so I was a bit mixed. Okay, so you see that it works. So let's put 0. Let's do that. And right now what we want to do is we have this graph which works. What we want to do is to be able to use it somewhere else. So what we want to do is just to change these two images by inputs, so the user can choose whatever he wants to put. So let's create an input here, color image input, and another one here, and this one we are going to call it, let's give him a nice name, so we're going to call it awesome name input, because it could be whatever you want, except normal maps in that case, because it won't, the normal map won't rotate properly, but any diffuse, specular, or height map would work. Here, this one, I'm going to call it mask map, copy the name and put it in the label here. Perfect, and here Okay, so I'm just replacing, so shift drag to move that. I don't need it anymore. And shift drag, and I don't need this one anymore. The output is called output, and it's okay like that. I'm going to save. So basically, here is our graph. So the texture input, the mask input, we created 3 times. It can be more. We created 3 color by mask, and which are used as a mask in the blend node with a grayscale color that defines the rotation for each zone. We blend everything together, and finally in the pixel processor it will look at this mask and make sure to rotate according to the value of each pixel to rotate the other output, the texture output. So let's try it. So let's go here, and right now let's drag and drop this one here. I also need my mask. So they are upside down here. It's not a big deal. If we want to change that fastly, I go here, I go in the interface, and I put the mask map at the top just by drag and dropping. Okay, back to the other one. Okay, you see it has changed. So plug my input, plug my mask, and in theory it won't work directly. So you see that it does more or less nothing. It's not a big deal because right now what we have to do is to select this and to pick the color we want. So for this, for example, I want this color. Perfect. Once again, it doesn't. I want. Sorry, I will do that. It's better. I want this color, so I pick it. As you can see, it's a bit slow. It's 1 second almost to calculate. So definitely it's not necessarily something that you want to do in real time, but yet it's still very useful. So generally that's something you want to do in production, not in real time in a game anyway. So right now we have our 3 zones defined, and what we can do is going here and just apply the value we want. So you see, for example, it starts rotating the way I want in the middle. So let's say I want something like that, for example. It's visible. Quality is quite good, even if of course it's always recommended to keep your texture straight, but as you see, if you have no choice, it works really greatly. If I move this one, it moves the one at the bottom, so it offers you a lot of control if you have to retake a model, for example. Oh. And this one, I don't even know which part is it. Maybe it's at the top. Anyway, I don't know which part is it, but the 2 first one, you see that it works really well. I can change the value the way I want. I'm quite happy with that. It's really cool. And you can even do some crazy stuff if you want to go on your SVG map, and let's say you want to paint something inside. I don't have any pink, so I guess if I do that, oh my god, I'm such a good artist. Here we go, and right now what I have to do is just to go there, to go to my last color and to pick this wonderful pink. In theory, if I change the rotation, for some reason I have a fail here. It should work. Maybe I didn't plug it correctly. Ah yes, it works. Finally. I don't know why it didn't work. So here we go. That's it for sorry. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you liked it. Once again, if you have any question or feedback or whatever you want to say, you can use the comment to chat with me. Thanks again and have a great day.